Subscribe, comment, like, share, and more importantly, click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live on Split Decision. I'm calling my man back. He called too. Let me get this call out the way before we hop into the last topic of the day. Appreciate every single one of my keys. How you doing, fam? 804. Stay who this is and where you calling from.
Hey man, my name's Justin. I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL,
Atlanta,
what's
Justin.
good?
What's up, Justin? How you doing, AkHi?
Alright, what's going on? First thing first, I want to say big fan of your work. You and Dante, y'all do an amazing job covering boxing. Appreciate
it. Dante, that's the go of his field for sure.
Yes, sir. And one thing I wanted to talk about is, do y'all think, or is it just me, do y'all think the PBC honors the WBO belt? Because as I've been paying attention for years over boxing, I have not seen that one PBC fighter hold a WBO belt.
Man, that's a great point.
Really?
And that's why Charlo versus Andre kind of a little bit questionable because, so is Errol Spence and Crawford. And the reason why, that's actually a great point you pointed out, because I remember Al Haymon wanting to cancel out the WBO from what I heard because Bob Arum have so much control over it. He feel like it's corrupt because Bob Arum is basically paying them whatever money they want, and they make his fighters the mandatory. For example, when Lomachenko fought Salido, it was for the WBO strap, and Lomachenko haven't proved a thing. He was fighting at featherweight, and his accomplishments were really a feather at the time because it was his second, pro bout. And he fought Salido, lost that fight, and the WBO have a rule of you cannot fight for that title coming off a loss, as I told y'all time and time again. And then obviously Lomachenko fought him coming off a loss. He fought Gary Russell. So you can see the connections that Bob Arum has with the WBO, and that's why a guy like Al Haymon and PBC don't want to mess with them, because they see that, like, man, they like Bob Arum, he has them in his pocket.
He
so
does.
That's it. That is a great point. I didn't even realize that.
Well, yeah. So they put it out there. It says that the PBC no longer recognize the WBO as a major sanctioning body.
That's an actual article?
Yeah, it's an article. Yeah.
Yeah, I read that as well. Also, what made me question, what also made me question is the Jeff Horn and Pacquiao fight, where that was Pacquiao's last fight against Jeff Horn, but last fight against Bob with Top Rank. And I don't know if PBC wanted that belt to come over to their circle. So
but
many people say Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao was robbed of that fight.
Yeah. And people heard that Pacquiao was planning on leaving Bob Arum, and that's why Bob Arum did that move, because he couldn't get Pacquiao to fight Crawford. However, one thing for sure, if that's the case, man, that's an obstacle in the way, because how are they going to make the Crawford fight with Errol Spence? How are they going to make the Charlo fight with Andrade? Because Andrade is the WBO champion. Crawford is the WBO champion.
Yeah.
Are they not going to recognize the title and just pay for the name Crawford and Andrade? They're not going to acknowledge the WBO title? Like, how?
Yeah. Even when they put up graphics on Fox and Showtime, they never recognized WBO champions in any weight class. Even when Andy Ruiz won it, they recognized him as a WBA IBF champion, not WBA IBF WBO champion.
Yeah, and of course
that also could be the hold up for the Wilder Joshua fight.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that's the hold up, because they didn't care about that, because Anthony Joshua has 2 other straps, so they wanted that fight to begin with. But PBC are looking to make their own belt. But I have another caller on the phone, fam, so I'm gonna have to let you go. But I appreciate you for calling in, AkHi. Okay.
Appreciate the love, bro.
No problem.
All right, thank you. Now that was definitely a great topic that he brought up. Oh man, I done let my man go and my man hang up. But like I said, he brought up a great and excellent point. That's why the PBC are looking to establish their own belt, to kind of have the leverage the UFC has. Remember, the UFC is basically an organization that in control of the belt and the fighters. So it makes fights easier to make. 504 on the phone. How you doing, AkHi? Where you calling from and who this is?
Whoa. This Bruce. I'm calling from Washington, from New Orleans, though.
What's good with you? You said this is Bruce?
Yeah.
Appreciate the love, bro.
Appreciate it. Can you turn down the mic, the volume for the computer? Cause
all right, my bad. I still have my computer on in the background.
Yeah, you're right. How you doing, fam? How we feeling today?
I'm chilling, baby. I'm like you. I don't really do the football thing, you know. I'm into the boxing,
right.
You know. But you know, I just want to call and give y'all boys y'all little props. You know what I'm saying? And I want to chime in a little bit on the Gervonta Davis thing. You know.
I'll speak on it.
Go ahead.
Speak on
it.
You
know, I think it's kind of being blown out of proportion a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know we're not supposed to put our hands on women, and I don't promote that no way. But you know what I'm saying? You can't have your cake and eat it too out here. You know what I'm saying? You can't have, you know, be pushing some policies and with some certain things, and then in certain situations you want to show out and show your ass. You can't always do that, bro.
Yes, sir. Now, the one thing for sure, you know, it ain't the first, it ain't the last. Like I said, you know, domestic violence happen every day, and I don't think it was domestic violence. I just think they had an issue between them two. Gervonta got tight because he saw her with some girl that he don't want her to hang out with. I mean, like I said, that's his personal business. If she had a problem with it, she would have basically made it known. She put out that Gervonta is a great father. Gervonta always there for his daughter. Gervonta, regardless of what he does, he's there for his daughter in school, this and that. So it's just her bringing that out to the public instead of her bashing him. It kind of let us know that, okay, it was between them two. However, it got caught on camera and it got blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? So like I said, you know, I'm not touching on the topic to bash Gervonta. I'm just kind of like, man, y'all needed to chillax a little bit because, you know, Gervonta, he didn't commit a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all acting like he got a felony in his, you know.
Right. And, you know, but this due to a lot of the social things that are going around, you know, that are the social pressures that are being pushed on to these certain situations where you don't even see it. Like you was talking about, like if you was in the NFL, oh man, it'll be going crazy now.
Hell yeah. And that's the problem of social media nowadays. I mean, everything gets blown out of proportion. And like, you don't know who these people speaking. Everybody want to bring their 2 cents to the table. And it's just that as the 2 cents because it don't bring dollars to the table. It's just, you know, it don't matter. Like I said, at the end of the day, people judge you behind the keyboard. You have a lot of keyboard warriors at the end of the day, and they say all type of things. So you can't really take too much into it. It's just social media nowadays. And Gervonta is going to have to take the good with the bad and adjust to the time. Obviously nowadays, like I said, it's social media time, so he's gonna have to move way clever than he is. You know what I'm saying? You have a little issue with your baby mother, you could just, you know, tell her, hey, let me talk to you real quick. You know, just, you know, like I said, when you on the eye of the public, you gotta behave the right way because everything you do, no matter how small or big, it will be judged.
Right. But you know, you also got to understand there's a lot of undermining going on too, especially as a, you know, I don't like to bring race into it, but I'm a black man, so I'm going to just say it how it is. If you're a black man, you deal with a lot of undermining. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it be in petty situations too. You be like, come on, but you'll get undermined and it stagnates and it even makes you even want to walk away and go, you know, in a whole completely new direction. And I think that's more of what it, you know, I'm not saying that's what it was, but it might have had something to do with that. Because, you know, I be with my girl or something, you be wanting her to, you be like, look, come on, babe, you know, you trying to undermine me. I already told you don't be with that chick, you know, dropping salt.
Bro,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? Hater, don't do that. So, you know, right.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's part of being an alpha male. You know, men. A lot of men are alpha at the end of the day. So you know, your word is your bond. So if you say something and she kind of breaks it, it's like, man, really? So like I said, you could get heated. You know, at the heat of the moment, you never know what you do, and you obviously try to control yourself. That's part of being a man. But at the end of the day, things happen, and it happens every day.
It is,
and people home. You know,
we want to. I think we all acknowledge that what he did is something that we don't want to see. Particularly, we all respect our women in here, and like I said, that is what she wants us to mind our business and doing that. But when you do it out there in the public, then it becomes our business in there. So like you say, keep those things in house. And all that,
Exactly.
and like I say, we should support each other within our communities and stuff. But Javante's got to be a little bit smarter.
Yeah, he got to be smarter than that. He don't want to face any court cases, you know, regardless of how minor, because you know he a fighter. Like I said early on, you know, podcast that man, he a fighter. If they see him, and you know they try to, the judge is automatically gonna you know judge him as a fighter. You know, not as a husband. She gonna be like, oh, you the fighter. You know, you're automatically guilty.
All right, well, brother. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Talking with y'all, you heard me?
Wa alaikum assalam, brother, man. Appreciate you for calling in all day, AkHi.
Salute, bro.
All right,
salute.
Brother.
All right.
Wa alaikum assalam. Now, last topic of the day. The last topic, Ugas, man. You know, he fought last night. Obviously, Al Haymon always have smart planning of putting fights around big venues and around the Super Bowl or the Olympics. Last time he did that for Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he did around 6.5 million viewership on PBC. I don't recall exactly. It was against Bundu, but he's doing the same thing for Ugas. Ugas deserve it. He's the sleeping giant at 147. He fought Dallas Jr. last night. He looked good. But that being said, you know, the welterweight division is the hottest division in boxing, and this is definitely the hottest boxing debate show out there. So tune in every Sunday live. Of course, to my left, the one and only Professor Nam. You know what I'm saying? Today, I don't think it was a split decision. Y'all comment if y'all think it was a split decision win or a knockout win for AkHi, or Professor Nam, whoever y'all picking. Hashtag AkHi, hashtag Professor Nam. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about a minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't. And listen to these casual fans. Of course, on Split Decision, we offer the book of the truth. So if you do open the book, that's exactly what you get, is Split Decision. So that being said, tune in every Sunday live by clicking on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live. If you want to attend the AkHi University, for all the casual fans that want to be hardcore, you know, come to the AkHi University. We have real life professors like Professor Nam teaching for free. All you have to do is subscribe, you know what I mean? So that being said, I appreciate every single one of y'all.